Welcome to the CPR Business Development Podcast. This episode 4 is Jumpstart Your CPR Business. On this deep dive, we're digging into Andre Logan Sr.'s Jumpstart Your CPR Business. We're basically pulling out the key steps, the roadmap, if you will, for getting your own CPR training venture up and running.
Yeah, and what's really valuable here, I think, is how practical it is. It's not just theory, it's a real framework for building a business, but one that's also, focused on teaching a skill that genuinely saves lives.
Absolutely. You feel that sense of purpose right from the start of the book, even in the acknowledgments. So if you're looking to maybe mix that entrepreneurial spirit with doing something really meaningful, this is for you. Okay, so first things first. You can't teach CPR if you're not, certified to teach it. Becoming a certified instructor.
That's ground zero.
Yeah.
Think of it like getting your driver's license before you can teach someone else to drive, right?
Yeah.
You need that instructor cert to be credible, to be effective. Involves taking a course, passing an exam.
Makes sense. And there's a cost involved. What are we talking, roughly?
Yeah, it's an investment, usually somewhere between, say, $200 and maybe $550. It really depends on the certifying body you go with, like the AHA or Red Cross.
And it's not just a one-and-done thing, is it? You have to keep it current.
No, that's a really important point. Instructor certifications typically need renewing every couple of years. You take refresher courses. It basically ensures you, the instructor, are always up to date with the latest guidelines, the latest techniques. Things do evolve.
Right. Keeps the quality high and consistent. Okay, so you've got the instructor certification. What's next, according to the book? Structuring the business itself.
Exactly. Now you're building the actual business container.
Yeah.
The guide walks through the common options. Sole proprietorship, that's pretty straightforward if it's just you. Or you could look at a partnership, a corporation, an S-corp, or an LLC, a limited liability company.
Okay, that's quite a few options. LLC seems popular these days. What are the main things to think about when choosing?
The big differences are really about legal liability and taxes, how the business is treated legally and financially. Like with a sole prop, there's no legal separation between you and the business. So your personal assets could potentially be on the line if something goes wrong.
Ah, okay. That's a big consideration.
It is. An LLC, on the other hand, offers that limited liability. It creates a separation, potentially protecting your personal stuff from business debts. For someone starting out solo, an LLC often hits a good sweet spot. Simple enough, but with protection.
Good summary. The book also talks about getting an EIN, an employer identification number.
Yep, from the IRS. Think of it like a social security number, but for your business. You absolutely need one to open a business bank account, maybe hire people later, file taxes. It's fundamental.
And how do you get one? Is it complicated?
Not really. The book lays out the ways you can do it online, which is usually fastest, or by phone, fax, or mail. And it's free from the IRS. Just watch out for sites that try to charge you for it.
Good tip. And it's not just federal stuff you need to worry about, state requirements too.
Correct. You've got to check what your specific state needs. Might be state registration, maybe specific licenses or permits to operate a training business there. It varies place to place.
Okay, so federal EIN plus state-specific checks. Got it. Which kind of leads us into the whole legal and bureaucratic maze.
Yeah, the less glamorous part, maybe, but totally crucial. Getting those federal and state tax IDs sorted is key. And critically, making sure the certification you offer comes from a recognized, accredited body. We mentioned AHA, Red Cross, those are the big ones. That means you need the basic CPR-ED cert first, that you complete their specific instructor training, written tests, skills tests, the whole thing.
Right, that accreditation gives your training real weight. Makes sense.
Totally. Then there's registering for state and local taxes, sales tax, maybe, depending on your state, employment taxes if you bring on other instructors.
It seems like a lot to track, especially when you're just starting.
It can be. The book actually suggests thinking about hiring a tax accountant.
Yeah.
At least early on. They can save you a lot of headaches and make sure you're doing everything right.
Probably money well spent. Any other legal bits the book flags?
It touches on maybe talking to a lawyer just to make sure your contracts or waivers are solid. Right. And definitely getting business insurance. You need liability protection. Oh, and if you have a physical place for training, making sure it meets health and safety codes. Yeah. It's all about building that solid, compliant foundation.
Right. Solid foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears. You're legal, you're certified. Now you need the stuff to actually do the training, the equipment.
It's gearing up, as the book calls it. And good quality gear makes a huge difference in the training experience. First up, CPR mannequins. You've got your basic ones, for practicing compressions, breaths. Those might run you $100 to $300 each.
Okay.
Then you have feedback mannequins. These are great. They give digital feedback like, are your compressions deep enough? Fast enough? Those are more like $300 to $500.
That sounds really useful for learners.
Hugely. And then there are instructor mannequins, more advanced, maybe remotely controlled for running scenarios. Those can be $400 up to $800 or so. The feedback ones, though, are probably the best bang for your buck starting out.
Good to know. And AEDs, obviously. You need trainer units for those.
Absolutely essential. AE trainers let people practice putting on the pads, following the prompts. Basic ones are maybe $200 to $400. More advanced ones can simulate different heart rhythms, shockable, non-shockable, lets you run richer scenarios. Those might be $400 to $600. Again, instructor versions exist, $500 to $800 maybe.
Okay, so mannequins, AED trainers. What about the smaller stuff? The consumables.
Right. You'll burn through things like CPR masks or valves, maybe $8 to $15 for 10. Barrier face shields, gauze pads if you cover basic first aid, maybe tourniquets, EpiPen trainers if that's part of your course. The book makes a good point. Buy this stuff in bulk when you can. It brings the per item cost way down, like 50 barrier masks for $10, something like that.
Makes sense. And then the tech to run the class. Projector, laptop.
Yep. A decent projector? Maybe $300, $800. Some portable speakers so everyone can hear videos or prompts. Your laptop or tablet, obviously. A screen if you need one. And don't forget, just basic classroom stuff, pens, sign-in sheets, maybe printed handouts. It adds up.
So, bottom line, someone starting from zero, what's a rough estimate for all this gear?
The guide suggests planning for somewhere in the $2,000 to $5,000 range to get reasonably well equipped. It's a chunk of change up front for sure, but good equipment pays off.
Okay. Certified, legal, equipped. Now, customers. How do you get people in the door? Branding and marketing.
This is where you tell your story. The book really pushes creating a strong brand identity. That means a professional-looking logo, consistent colors and fonts, and messaging that clearly says, we teach you how to save a life.
The value proposition.
And having brand guidelines helps keep everything looking sharp and consistent.
Totally. Guidelines for how to use your logo, your color palette, typography, even the tone of voice in your writing. It makes you look professional across your website, social media, business cards, training materials, everything. Website's crucial these days, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. A professional website is non-negotiable. And it needs to be optimized so people searching locally, like CPR class near me, can find you. That's local SEO. Social media too, Facebook, Instagram, maybe even YouTube, showing quick tips or demos. It's about being visible where people are.
And it's not just advertising classes, right? Offering useful info.
Exactly. Content marketing, writing blog posts about why CPR is important, quick first aid tips, making simple videos or infographics. That draws people in, positions you as an expert. The book also mentions more direct stuff. Email lists for announcing classes, maybe flyers or direct mail in your local area, even reaching out directly to businesses.
Cold calling or emailing companies.
Yep. We can talk more about that, but it's definitely a strategy. The book even has some creative ideas, like maybe offering a discount for the first business that books a group session. Get creative. Maybe try to get some local press.
Lots of avenues. It sounds like you need a mix of strategies.
Definitely. You can't rely on just one thing. Content, SEO, maybe some paid search ads, social media, email, direct outreach. You combine them.
But to make any of that work, you need to know who you're trying to reach, identifying your target audience.
Absolutely fundamental. You can't tailor your message or even your courses effectively if you don't know who your ideal student is. The book says, do your research. Who needs CPR in your area? Healthcare workers, teachers, new parents, construction crews, fitness trainers. Understand their demographics, age, job, location.
And psychographics, too, like why they need it.
Exactly. What are their motivations? Are they required to get certified for work? Are they worried about family safety? What are their concerns? Where do they look for information? All that helps you connect.
And then you create buyer personas based on that research, like fictional profiles of your ideal customer.
Precisely. Maybe you have Nurse Nancy who needs recertification, or contractor Chris whose company requires it. These personas make your audience real and help you focus your marketing and course design.
Okay, makes sense. So you know who you're targeting. Now, how much do you charge? Let's talk pricing.
Yeah, pricing can feel tricky. The book breaks it down logically. First, know your costs inside out. What does it cost you to run a class? Instructor time, materials per student, room rental if you need it, marketing, admin overhead, all of it.
Get a real cost per student figure.
Exactly. Then you got to research the market. What are other trainers in your local area charging for similar classes? You need to be aware of the going rates.
But it's not just about matching the lowest price, right?
No, definitely not. You need to factor in the value you provide. Are you using top-tier feedback mannequins? Are you a particularly experienced instructor? You can charge based on value. Also, consider who you're teaching. You might have different rates for corporate group classes versus individuals signing up for a public session. And then, crucially, figure out your profit margin. The book suggests aiming for maybe 15–25%.
So you cover costs and make a sustainable profit.
Right. And look at different models. Per-person pricing is common. Maybe offer group discounts. Or premium pricing for private, on-site classes.
So it's finding that balance competitive but reflects your value and keeps the business healthy financially.
That's the goal. Competitive but sustainable.
Now, one sales tactic the book spends some time on is cold calling, professional cold calling. In a world of email and social media, why is that still important?
Well, the book points out it's a very direct way to connect, especially with businesses or organizations that need CPR training for their staff. Think construction companies, gyms, schools, medical offices. But preparation is everything. You can't just pick up the phone randomly. The book stresses researching the company first. Understand what they do, who the right contact might be. Use LinkedIn, their website.
Have a plan before you dial, like a script or at least an outline.
Yeah, exactly. Know how you'll introduce yourself confidently, what your core value proposition is for them, how does your training solve a problem or meet a need for that specific company, and have a clear ask, usually to schedule a short follow-up meeting.
Not trying to sell the whole course on the first call.
Usually not. It's about starting the conversation. The book also talks about mindset. Be positive, be confident, believe in the value you offer. Even smiling when you talk, it comes across. And timing matters. Try calling when decision makers are more likely to be available.
And asking questions is key, right? Not just pitching.
Absolutely. Ask open-ended questions to understand their current situation. Do they have training now? Are they happy with it? What are their safety concerns? This helps you tailor your solution. And be prepared for objections. The book gives good advice. Listen, empathize, ask questions to understand the objection fully, then offer a tailored response. Stay calm and professional.
There's even a sample pitch in the book, isn't there? Keep it brief.
Yeah, respect their time, be direct, and be ready to follow up immediately if they ask for info. Have your price list, maybe a short sales letter or brochure ready to email. Return calls quickly. Ask for referrals. And keep track of everything. Use a spreadsheet, a CRM, whatever works. Note who you called, when, what the outcome was. Organization is key.
It sounds like persistence is the name of the game with cold calling.
That's what the book emphasizes. You'll hear no a lot. Don't take it personally. Learn from each call. Tweak your approach. Those yes calls can be major wins for your business.
Okay, it definitely sounds like a skill worth developing, especially for tapping into that business market. Finally, the book wraps up with something seemingly simple but powerful. The humble to-do list.
Yeah, and it's presented not just as a memory aid, but as a core tool for organization and really for making progress. The key is how you use it. Write down specific tasks, not vague goals. Call 5 potential clients is better than get more clients. Keep it manageable, maybe 5 to 10 key things per day, and prioritize ruthlessly what really needs to get done today.
So it's not just listing stuff, it's about focusing your effort.
Exactly. And schedule things if you can. Put deadlines on tasks. Review the list often. The book suggests a cycle. Plan tomorrow's list tonight. Review it first thing in the morning to focus. Review it again at the end of the day to see what you accomplished and what needs to carry over.
Makes it a continuous loop of planning and doing.
Right. Keeps you organized, stops things falling through the cracks, and helps you consistently move the business forward, one task at a time.
So pulling it all together, Jumpstart Your CPR Business really does seem to offer that comprehensive roadmap, from getting yourself certified right through to managing your daily tasks.
It really does. It covers the nuts and bolts of setting up, the equipment, finding customers, pricing, selling, but always with that undercurrent of the value you're providing, teaching life-saving skills.
It's definitely a business where you can build something for yourself and make a real impact.
Absolutely. It provides a clear path and, frankly, the reward of knowing you're equipping people to potentially save a life.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful motivator.
Well said. So if this deep dive has sparked something in you, if you're ready to explore this further, the tools are there.
Indeed. It's an actionable guide for building something truly worthwhile.
Click the link in the descriptions to access your copy of Jumpstart Your CPR Business. Thank you for joining CPR Podcast, and please subscribe, like, and comment so that we can continue to make more like this. Please leave a comment. We will see you in the next episode 5, starting and operating your CPR business.